tequila. I just bought tequila. Let's party, girls. Woo! Underlay, underlay. Arriba!
Hello, welcome back to Sextras,
where we talk about sex and all the extra.
I'm Honey, and when I was 4, I went into my mum's room. I don't remember this, but this is what she told me recently, okay? And I went through her stuff. I found her vibrator. It's like one of those bunny ones, like the rabbit ones, you know which ones I mean.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of detail that she went into because I have literally no recollection of this. And I turned it on and ran around the house. And she was like, no, oh my god, this is so terrible. Her 4-year-old running around the house, holding it up and chanting. Yeah, that's my fun fact.
You already knew from a young age, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Hello guys, I'm Maria, and my fun fact is that when I was younger, I thought that when you died, in your dreams, you died for real. So I was so fucking scared of dying in my dream that I literally taught myself how to lucid dream so I would never die in my dream. And that's how I know how to lucid dream. So yeah.
I swear you do die if you die in a dream, though.
No, you obviously don't.
No,
what
I
do you
swear it's
mean?
actually a thing.
No. It's a thing people say, but it's obviously not true.
Okay. Cool, you learn something new every day.
Oh god, hon. Honestly.
Anyway, today we have a very special guest with us. He is our first Australian guest. Very exciting.
Yeah, big up.
And he is soon to be releasing his book called Unprotected Treks. And it's an anti-travel guide. So it sounds very exciting. We're very excited for its release. And we're going to talk to him today to get a little insight into the male perspective. He is the spokesman for the whole of the male species, whatever you want to call it. So please welcome, we are very excited to have Bing Fraser. Welcome.
G'day guys, thanks for having me. Outstanding. You're not the first person to introduce me or refer to me as special, so I appreciate the introduction. My fun fact, I don't know if it's very fun, but it's definitely a fact. Love Actually is one of the worst movies ever made, ever, and that's
I would not say that
fact.
As a fact. I really would not say that as a fact.
It's an
I feel really
objective
uncomfortable
fact.
with you bringing that forward as a fact on our podcast.
Let's
break
it down. All right, you've got a UK Prime Minister who is just security for a schoolboy crush. You've got a bloke cheating on his brother. You got one bloke who's hitting on his best mate's wife. You got some creepy old bloke who's 10 minutes from his grave making out. I don't know, just finding a new zest in life. I was more confused than he was watching it. And what else you got? You got the little kid's pretty cute and he's all right. That's a decent story. But besides that, I want 2 hours of my life back. Every year.
Yeah, he's so cute.
I'm forced to watch it every year at Christmas. It is trash. Absolutely trash.
Okay, well, I completely disagree with you. I think it's a great film.
I have to say, it's not the best film. It's not my favourite. I don't really get the hype around it. Everyone's we have to watch it because it's Christmas. But so I kind of agree. It's not the worst film ever made. I'm not gonna go that far, but it's not as good as people make it out to be.
No, I'm just happy to have your whole audience offside while we get started too. It's only up from here, guys.
They're just hating you from now on. You've just ruined everyone's opinion of you.
It's good to keep a low bar, guys, because you can clear it every time.
So we are going to start with this segment this week where we asked you guys to send us some questions that you have for men, because obviously there's a lot of questions we have for men and we can't speak for that experience, so Bing is gonna give us a little insight into the male psyche.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start off.
So the people want to know what makes a good female bum.
Jesus, heavy hidden from the start, eh? Cheers. Secondly, to the male populace, you're welcome. Thirdly, what makes a good ass? That's difficult because every ass is different, right? Okay. See, a lot of guys like the firm, the gym ass and all that, but I like a bit of jiggle with mine, so I can't really answer that one for.
You like a bit of jiggle.
Bit of jiggle while you're checking out the trunk, you know. You need while you're repairing that car, you want a bit of movement. You don't want the wheels to be screwed on too tightly, you know. But yeah, I don't know.
Are you more of a bum or a boobs kind of
Bum,
guy?
definite bum. You can't do anything with boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. They're quite boring. Like, they're quite
They're
nice,
great to
like,
look at, don't get me
comforting.
wrong, okay? I wish I had a set of my own. It would cheer me up on those down days, but for the efficiency or putting something to use, I guess, I like an ass that is natural and that you can work with. I don't like it too skinny when you're just hitting bone. It's just like, there's not even any oil down here, guys. You got to stop drilling. So it's yeah, I'm gonna go with it. A natural fit bottom is outstanding.
Okay. So like not too like worked.
No, I don't like overly toned, but a lot of guys do.
Yeah, I prefer a bit of jiggle
you know?
too.
Yeah, me too.
100%. You want to see a bit of reward for your work, you know. Oh, g'day, mum. I hope you're listening to this. It's good to see you. I told you not to listen.
Yeah. Our mums listen every week, so don't worry. Join the club.
Don't worry. She's already disappointed. We're fine. Again, the bar's down here, guys. We can clear it.
Okay, the next one. What does it feel like to have your dick inside something? Explain the feeling to us.
Oh, it's a 30-degree day and a long walk on the beach. It's a child's smile as we're eating ice cream on a not hot summer's day. It's sunshine lollipops. That's what it is. It's no, I think the best thing would imagine your clitoris getting one big warm hug. I think that's a very good because I think that the end of the penis is very similar to the nerve endings of the clitoris, and we get to absorb that into a nice warm hole. And it's outstanding. It's great, okay? But to actually define the feeling...
Yeah, I was going to say I would guess it would feel like a little hug.
Yeah, it is a bit like that. But usually going in the psyche is just like, don't embarrass yourself, Bing. Don't do it. So you're not really enjoying it too much, you know? No, I'm kidding. It is great fun, though.
Good to know. This is good knowledge that I needed in my life.
What's the difference between, like, how it feels like to be inside a vagina and inside a mouth? Like, is it just more wet? Is it just not as tight? Like,
well, that's what I said. A mouth you can deal with the suction and then how tight it is, I guess. Where a vagina, you're kind of in control. So, yeah, each has their preference. I think a vagina is perfectly made for a penis. So I like the vagina, but I'm not against the old mouth either. Yeah. You know, they've both got their uses. They're both invited to the party. So yeah, let's just have some more tequila and have some fun, eh?
Perfect.
Okay, so next question. Do you judge girls more on their appearance or personality?
Oh, like, this sounds like a cop-out, but definitely personality. I know, it's just like, oh, of course, he has to say personality.
Liar.
No, but honest, especially for me, like, I personally believe I am in the business of fun. Okay, I'm not in the business of going out see how many chicks we can rail and all that kind of thing. So I'm going out for my enjoyment. So if I'm speaking to a brick wall that looks like Miranda Kerr or whatever you kids are into these days, then it's just like, well, I'm going to have a terrible night, aren't I? Whereas if you got a good 6'7" who's just having the time of her life, it's like, well, and guess what? We're going to have some fun. So you got to start with a personality, and we'll work with what we got from there. With that being said, I forgot I'm answering for the entire male populace, so I apologise. You find the 10 in the 10 in the club, you take her home, you are the king of the jungle. That's how the male psyche works. But yeah, no, I just don't think you can deal with a brick wall if you're going to spend 3 hours a night with them. And same with it, like if a girl's going out and you want to speak to, I know, Brad Pitt, but he's literally, all he's talking about is his own reflection. You're probably like, well, you know what? I've got Ocean's 11 back home. I might as well go and watch that with a bit of acting ability. Ocean's 11 is a movie in the 90s for you young kids watching back at home, and it has Brad Pitt in it.
Thanks for letting us know, old man.
Okay, the next one. What makes a girl good or bad in bed?
Enthusiasm. That's all you need to do. Bit of enthusiasm and a bit of ticker, and we're gonna have a good time. That's literally it. Just go in there, pretend you know what you're doing, because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna give it my best go, okay? And that's all I ask in return, okay? It's just like, especially when you can tell when a girl is self-conscious in bed, and it's a massive turn-off. Whereas I've had girls who don't have a clue what they're doing, but they're just having a good time in there. I'm like, this is great. You're great. We're having a great time. It's outstanding. So
fake it till you make it.
100% pure enthusiasm. You do that, and yeah, everyone's walking away with a smile on their face.
What about bad?
No, I've had girls who you can tell like all they're thinking about is, am I doing a good job? I've had girls telling me this like during sex. It's like, oh, tell me what you want me to do. I want to come back. I want to impress you. I want to do it. You're like, Jesus Christ, mate. Like, my 3-incher isn't doing the best job itself. You're not the only self-conscious one in here, but we can at least pretend we know what we're doing, and you're going to be better off for the experience. So it's all energy. And when you bring that, it's just negative energy, and you're just like, well, this sucks. You know, I should have stayed home and watched Ocean's 11.
It's always Ocean's 11.
I think it's so weird because like I feel like so many girls, like the reason they're not even having a good time as well, because like friends have told me this, is because they're like thinking the whole time like, oh, am I arching my back? Like, do I look hot? Is he like liking this? Blah 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 blah. And like that's what makes girls not have a good time. And you're literally saying that what makes it fun is when girls aren't doing like when you can tell they're not in that headspace, and they're way more in like the headspace of just giving it your best or just like having fun or whatever. So I feel like that's quite good to know. Like girls get super in their head. Sorry.
And that's what they say. What is it? Whatever percentage of the female orgasm is mental. I don't know statistics, guys, but whatever that statistic is. And if they're not actually involved in it or actually enjoying the experience, well, it's just like, well, then this is only a one-way street, isn't it? Like, this entire experience is for the guy's enjoyment.
You're literally just saying that the guy enjoys it way more when you're enjoying it too.
Exactly right. So if my enjoyment is dependent on how well you're doing, and you're only worrying about my enjoyment, well then it's just a cycle, isn't it? It's just like, well, I'm not going to get my enjoyment if you're not enjoying it, and you're not going to get your enjoyment if I'm not enjoying it. And just like, guys, we just met, let's party. Come on, what are we doing? Let's just, strip it off and shake what you got, eh?
I agree. Well, along those lines then, like, what's the worst thing a girl can do on a date?
Oh, on a date. Oh, I guess it honestly comes back to that. I'm going to go back to it. It's just like when they're not enjoying it, and that they're caring so much about what they're saying and what they're doing. How do they look? Am I ordering the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? Is this what he wants me to answer? It's just like, and again, it depends what your end goal wants to be. And it's just like a lot of my friends who are female would say that they're going on a date maybe not with the expectations for a relationship, but very few girls are going out for a one night stand, especially if you're going on a date. So if you're looking at getting, I guess, dragging this relationship down the line, then what point is it being something that you're not on the first date to hide something that they're only going to find out down the road, which is going to end poorly anyway? So I feel you've got to be the best version of yourself, but you've got to be yourself. And as soon as you are showing anything but that authenticity, then again, it's only going to end bad for both of you. And I think, yeah, when there's a massive shield up, that's probably the worst thing you can do. Where, again, you don't want to be, Sunday 6 p.m. you when you got your feet up on the couch and you don't give a fuck, For guys and girls, you want to be showing your best self. But it's so easy to see when someone's not being that authentic person that they are, I guess. And same with guys, more so for guys, because like girls are more emotionally attuned than men are. But yeah, I think we're pretty poor tellers of on the emotional spectrum. We're not great at that, but you got to give us a bit of credit. I don't know if I answered the question, but something along those lines.
Definitely good for people who I feel like people starting out having sex or going on dates, they definitely have those ideas in their head, like what's gonna make me the best, or like how am I gonna be the prettiest, or like the coolest person, but it's like no one actually cares about that. On my first date with my boyfriend, I was talking about how like I could start a cult if I wanted to, and I was like, why the fuck am I saying this? But like, let's just go with it, it's fine.
I think that's the biggest problem though, especially when you're younger, because everyone is trying to make themselves out to be this, God, like the best version of themselves. It's just like when you're 18, 19, 20, no one's done anything, absolutely nothing. And you're all in the same boat, guys. Okay, so stop pretending to be this thing that you're not, that you're, your farts don't stink and all this. Just be a bit of fun and be the best version of yourself. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, as long as you're still trying to improve yourself, that's going to be good enough. And you'll both be better off for the experience. The more bullshit that comes, I'm telling you, you're only causing yourself problems down the road.
Yeah, and it's like so important to be able to laugh at yourself. If you can't laugh at yourself, then literally how are you ever going to have fun? Because that's all you're going to be worrying about is someone else laughing at you.
Not only that, if you can't have a joke on yourself, you have no right to have a joke on anyone else. And then that's the death of humour. Humour is so important in our civilization, and it's fucking getting shat on at the moment. But you have no right to have a joke on anyone else's behalf if you can't have one on yourself. And being self-deprecating is one of the most attractive qualities you can be. I believe, as an absolute twat over here. Speaking for the male species. The amount of people who just like take themselves too seriously. It's like, well, good luck with that in the long run, mate, because you ain't that special. None of us are.
Okay, moving on. Do you think before you say things, or do the words just come tumbling out?
Do I sound like someone who thinks before he speaks? Fuck me dead. It's not even English coming out of my mouth. Let alone, got no idea what's coming. I might start speaking Kenyan in a second, but no, God no. It's just, just wish me luck. I've learned to become a pretty good backpedaler over the years. Because it's just like, whoa, Bing, what the fuck was that? Why'd you say that? Apologise now. Leave the mothers out of this. No,
oh my God.
Definitely not.
Would you say that's typical of the male species, or
no,
just specific to you?
No, I don't think so. Men, a lot of men, again, generalizing, they're way too self-conscious with what they're saying, what's coming out of their mouth, because of what's been sold to them, of how a man's meant to speak, how they're meant to present themselves. So they're overthinking everything they say, and that's why we say so much stupid shit. Because it's just like, oh, we're not showing our authentic self. Oh, fuck, what's going to impress her? I like dogs. Jesus Christ, Bing, what the fuck was that? That is trash. Absolutely trash. And it's just like, Yeah. No, I think it's an overanalyzation that is men's downfall when women think that we're not thinking at all. Usually the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Unless like the cricket's on or something. Then it's just, it's just a monkey up there clapping the cymbals.
That's interesting. I always just thought that guys like thought that everyone wanted to hear their opinion all the time on all things.
What the fuck do we have an opinion about? We know nothing. We're fucking cavemen.
Yeah, that's actually so true though, now that I think about it. I feel like whenever guys say something stupid, I'm like, why the fuck did you say that? And then it's like, okay, no, when I think about it, I'm like, okay, the whole masculinity thing, and then that is the most unattractive thing. I'm like, oh, get away from me. Like, I don't want to hear that bullshit. Please.
Oh, 100%. That's what I say. I think it depends what guy you're getting. If you're getting a guy within his group of friends, or if you're getting him alone, you're getting two different versions of them, aren't you? And then you're getting two different sets of bullshit that's, some of it's alright, then other times, like you said, you got to give us a little credit, or maybe you're giving us too much. I don't know. We're fucking morons, guys.
Yeah, I love how guys are so, like, cutesy and gay with their girlfriends, and then they're like, the whole thing how it's like their boys can never see them like that. I just find that so funny.
But that's how we that's because that's how we think you want us to be, okay? we just love you too much. That's our problem.
Like little puppies.
Just love me.
Someone asked, do you actually not wipe your ass because that's vile?
What? What the fuck? This one time when I was 3 years old, I don't know, I thought it would be pretty funny to go, no. But no, I don't understand the question. Unless I'm horribly drunk and I might forget to do one thing or another, no, I'm hitting I've got a pretty good hit rate on wiping my bottom.
Good to know.
I'm really confused. Like,
no, great question.
I've
really
never
good
heard
question.
of guys not
Appreciate
wiping
that.
their ass. Who
Yeah,
thinks
I've never
that?
heard
Like,
that either.
I have brothers, and I've always known men wipe their ass. Where did that come from? That they don't.
Who's checking? I want to know who that girl is and what she does on her Friday nights.
Yeah, but you don't like wipe the dick after you pee, I swear. So maybe that's where they got it from.
All right, now we're getting into some uncharted territory. All right, that one I don't have such a definitive answer for, but yeah, no,
Yeah, but I kind of get
do
it because
people
it doesn't
do
seem
that?
like it stays wet though. Whereas like the vagina's kind of hidden, so it will stay wet.
Yeah, no, a couple of shakes will do the trick. The underwear will get the rest of it.
Like back
Play
in
on.
the pants. Yeah, exactly. It goes on the pants still.
Yeah, but there are a couple of layers before you get to the visual,
Yeah.
the public visuals. We're all right.
There's so many like pee, poo, like R's related.
No, that's great. That's what I'm here
The
for.
next one.
Yeah, this is great. Cheers.
The next one is where does the pee go when you poo? Does it just dangle?
Aliba. Oh yeah, sorry. The pee. Well, yeah, no, it's just a bell in a tower, baby. It's just dangling there, I guess. Just waiting to be rung.
So you
no
just
ring.
wait. So you let it dangle into the toilet, like into the bowl.
What the fuck are you doing with it? You're hanging it on the toilet seat, are you?
I would like
That's
put it on
so
my lap,
unclean of you.
On your
I
lap.
think you.
I would.
I think you need to look at a few more penises in your life, Maria, because that's
would
that's
just,
human
like-
anatomy 101 impossible. That's what that is. You are defying physics right there. I'm glad you're doing a philosophy course, not a physics one, or an astronomy one. Because you're failing in first class.
Wait, I don't get how you can't put it on your lap though.
It can't-
Like, I just move it.
Jesus Christ! Do you want me to
Or like a
lasso it
little
as well?
towel.
Do you want me to wrap it in a little bow? I'll send it to you while I'm taking a shit. Fucking hell. He's not possible. He's not I don't know what you're dealing with. But, yeah, no.
Yeah, but like this is what I don't get is like if it's just dangling, is there not like a little bit of interaction? You know what I mean?
It's not just swinging wildly beneath your knees, you know. It's just not a fucking grandfather clock down there. It's it's well behaved. Okay, it knows that you need to sit still for 5 minutes, behave yourself, don't look me in the eye, and we'll get through this together.
Okay. I feel like I've got a good grasp of this topic now.
We're solving the big questions of life.
Which I'm so glad. It's so useful to my life.
Okay, next question. Do you prefer clean shaven or like a little strip kind of vibe, or full bush or tidy bush, or how do men prefer their pussy groomed?
Again, I think my answer would probably be different to the male populace.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it's a very
But I don't like a unkept fucking 60s. Let's go to Graceland, kind of look. I don't.
You don't like a forest?
No, but I don't mind if you can have a forest. Just make sure you're keeping the trees trimmed. But I feel the same with a guy. Probably like if you're going down for oral, you don't want to be searching through the Amazon to find the gold. You want a little bit of. You just want a map. Just at least give me a map so I can get to where I'm meant to be going. But I think but most guys I think would say clean shaven purely because that's what we've been attuned to with porn. I for no other reason, I reckon that would be it. Where it's the same reason I think a lot of girls would like, circumcised penises, because that's what you've been attuned to.
But is it not like little girl kind of vibes, or is that what you're in?
That's what I said. No, that's purely for that reason. I know it's again sounds like a cop out from me, but just a little bit of pubis would be great to remind me that you're not a fucking child. That'd be outstanding. Thank you.
But if you were like gonna have a one night stand, or I don't know, sleeping with a girl for the first time or whatever, and you like, I don't know, were getting down to her and stuff, and then she just had like a full bush, would you like what would change? Would you like not go down on her? Would you be like put off? Because I feel like loads of girls really worry about that. So.
Again, that I think that's another conversation that has a lot of other metrics to it. I'm not a massive fan on a one night stand going down on a girl, especially after 5 hours of dancing.
Oh my god, I agree. I would not let a guy.
Yeah, I think that's I think that if there is a way to sour a situation, because when I was younger, I used to be play on, just fucking get me in there, But then after a few poor experiences, then you're just like, whoa, that was something I didn't need to see, and you're coming up with that as your only memory. And then I'm like, fuck, if that's what I have to go through, the poor girl's probably dealing with the same thing on the other end. So I just think there are other ways to go about it on a one night stand. So I don't think even hair comes into the equation with that.
Well, I hope you guys are like enjoying these visuals that we're giving you. I think they're really like detailed, really informative, very scientific.
Anyone who knows me is never gonna look me in the eye again.
Okay, the next one. Why do you avoid conflict or answering stupid questions that are meaningless or interesting?
Wasn't that a contradiction in the question?
No, I know what she's talking about. I know exactly what
she's
talking
about. Can you reword it, please?
I know exactly what she's talking about. So, I'll ask my boyfriend. Like, anyone that knows me knows that I'm always like, oh, what would you do if? And like, would you rather this? Or like, I'm always asking those kind of questions, like hypotheticals that are never going to happen.
Oh, I love that question. Would you rather go down on a 50-year-old man, or would you rather... those kind of questions?
And my boyfriend like always gets annoyed when I'm asking like hypothetical after hypothetical after hypothetical, because he's like, why do you care? Like, it doesn't matter. So I think that's what they mean by like meaningless. But then by interesting is like, sometimes it's just an interesting thing to talk about, and he'll just be like, oh, why? Like, why? I don't know. I feel like guys do that. But maybe it's just my boyfriend and this girl's boyfriend.
Yeah, no, I guess, again, like, what's on TV and what's bringing more value to his life right now? No, I'm just kidding. I think again, like, what is the end product with these questions? A guy... Okay, so put it this way. If we're going on a road trip, we're trying to get to A to B, or A to Z as fast as we can. Okay? There is an end goal. We're going to get there. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a female wants to go and see the nice lookout over there. We want to go and see what this restaurant has to offer. Oh, look at the chips over there. That view looks divine. All this. And if you're asking all these questions, they're probably not on his map that's getting to Z. So I feel like you're just stopping at C, D, and E when he's just like, whoa, we're making good time. What are you doing? Stop with the views. We're going okay.
I feel like what you're saying is you're kind of worried that it's going to lead to some kind of conflict, or you're like, oh, this is a trick question, so you're trying to steer clear of those like pointless questions.
I don't think it's that though. I think it's literally more like I don't care. It's not important.
Oh, okay.
That's the
impression
impression
I guess it's one or the other.
At least.
I'd go more with Maria's answer, but honey, can I ask you, why are you asking these questions? Are you trying to trick the bloke into saying something that he shouldn't?
Oh, no. I feel like I don't really ask those kinds of questions. I'm not really kind of a meaningless conversation kind of gal, even though I do have a podcast, which is kind of meaningless.
I only talk about the biggest questions of life. The meaning of life, or we don't talk. That's it.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Like, if I don't have anything to say, I'll just stay quiet. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I took from that. But I guess it is one or the other, so I don't know. Okay, last one.
I thought this was quite a funny question. When does sex end?
This is definitely a trick question. Consider this one very carefully.
I was just... the first thing that came to my mind, I'm like, that's not going to sit well. There are more than 3 of us in this conversation.
Yeah, I bet you just thought when I bet you just thought...
Like, obviously.
Well, that was a very nice way of wording what my answer was. So, no, I'm joking. I'm too competitive, so I need to be like, I'm going to make her finish, alright? So I feel like it... Yeah, the ones both are satisfied, I think. But again, then it comes back down to... It's a far more complicated question than what it seems on the surface. Getting philosophical again. But it's just like, well, what's been the... Put it this way, you go back to the previous one. If you're sleeping with a girl who's stupidly self-conscious, then it's just like, well, she's not going to get over the finish line regardless of what I do. I could be bloody carrying 20 inches between my legs, swinging it like a, first base home run. I don't watch baseball, guys. Whoever the first guy hitting the ball in baseball is, that's where that metaphor was meant to go. And then it's still not going to matter if she isn't in it mentally. So it's just like, well, I can't say that we're both finished kind of thing, And then it's just like, the other thing is like, if you're too blind, and then it's just like, oh, you're waiting on the guy to finish, and you're just like, love, you could suck a golf ball through a fire hose right now, and I still wouldn't be finishing. So then you're waiting on that, and you're just like, well, it's more complicated. It's like, what are the variables again? I could be blind drunk. I don't know where I am, and it's just like, well, I'm not finishing till you finish, and you're just like, well, love, good luck.
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. I agree. I think. Okay, I understand, and I do agree there should be, like, good effort on both parts to make the other person come or whatever. It doesn't have to be that's the end goal, but it should be equal pleasure for both people. But I don't think it has to be both people come. Okay, well, I feel like we have gained quite a bit of insight into the male psyche. Thanks for sending your questions, guys.
It's a fucking minefield up there, isn't it?
I think you made it through okay. So, Bing, tell us, please. Would you say you're a person that fucks a lot?
By society standards, maybe. By my standards, no. Next question.
So not as much as you'd like to.
No one is, obviously. I'm having breakfast.
I get you. Fair enough. Yeah, definitely same.
So how did it come to be that by society standards you do fuck a lot? Like, how did that happen? Like, how did you become a slut, basically?
Oh, how dare you call me a whore? You gotta do what you love in this life, don't you? And you gotta do what you're good at, and you gotta focus, okay? Put your whole mind, body, and spirit to it.
Tell us about your sexual awakening, basically. How did you reach this peak ripeness of sexuality?
Well, like all great degenerates, I was raised as a stringent Catholic, and then I made my way overseas, and then I was opened up to a new way of life, I guess. I went and did a summer camp in Pennsylvania, the great United States of America. And then afterwards, I went traveling with probably the definition of a man whore. And I was a good little Catholic boy. I'd been, raised on yes, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, and thank you, Father Paul. But yeah, then we were kind of put through our paces. that was a Catholic priest joke. That one was. But anyway, we went to Pennsylvania. He had travelled with him afterwards, and he kind of just threw us through the paces. We'd go on a night out. He'd go and speak to that girl, Bing, and I wouldn't have a clue what my left hand was from my right hand. We'd get talking, and then eventually she'd get bored of speaking to me, as I would be bored of listening to me. And then he'd be like, how about you try this? All right? It might be going all right. Then he'd come up and just be like, oh, have you told her about your girlfriend yet, Bing? And then he'd walk away. And then obviously she'd throw a drink over me or whatever it was. And I'm just like, what the fuck was that, mate? And he's just like, oh, mate, on to the next one. I'm just like, he wouldn't explain himself. On to the next.
Oh, wow. That sounds fully like in TV shows. I didn't know that actually happened. Like when the guy's like, okay, you gotta like practice. You're gonna like get you talking to women and all of this shit.
Yeah.
But again, like, I was this innocent 18-year-old, never seen the world, never spoken to a girl, nothing like that. So I was taking everything to heart, fucking everything that happened. And then, if it wasn't going so well, he'd come, he'd wingman me, get me in a really good position, things would be going well, he'd walk away. Then when things were going real well, he'd come over and he's just like, mate, for a man with as many STDs as you do, and you're still speaking to women? Jesus. And she'd get this, that, the other, she'd walk off. And I'm just like, what the fuck, mate? He's like, come on, relax, back onto the next one. If I was really angry, we'd do a shot, onto the next one. And then, no matter what happened, how well it'd go, he'd come absolutely stick a fork in me. And then he's just like, you're going to get used to rejection. Because as soon as you lose the fear of rejection, you're invincible. And it was the worst couple of months of my life. But looking back on it, it was psychotic, but it kind of helps you out in the long run. And that sounds terrible, and it's what happened in my youth that turned me into a bit of a slut, I guess, from a Catholic schoolboy.
Wait, so what was it about it that then made you be like, oh, it's actually fine? It was just like getting over the rejection, or like also just like learning what works, like when talking to girls and shit like that. What
as soon as you learn not to take things personally on a night out, especially with people who don't know you, you can start focusing on actually having fun. Obviously when you're 18, 19, especially from a male perspective, it's the first time you've seen the world, and all these girls that you've wanted to speak to in high school, but you had Jesus in your life, and you're just like, well, let's go and have a word or two. And then you don't know what the fuck you're doing, do you? And you were so nervous about speaking to the opposite sex as they are probably speaking to you. And then all of a sudden, this 26-year-old man whore went, I'm teaching you one thing, and the only thing you're going to learn is to be comfortable in rejection. As soon as you learn that, you can start being yourself on a night out. And then as soon as you're yourself and you're your best version of yourself, you started having a bit of fun, I guess. So yeah, don't know if that answers your question or not, but that was my turning point from a stringent Catholic to someone who enjoyed having a good time on a night out, I guess.
That I can't believe that happens. Like that, you know, that film Crazy Stupid Love, when he's like showing him all the clothes to wear. That's what I'm picturing you as right now.
Oh, fuck that. Are you seeing what I'm wearing right now? There's no training in this. This is worth about $3 from Primark. This is.
So you would say like your most valuable piece of advice is to just not be scared of rejection to some 18-year-old guy listening now.
Nothing is personal on a night out. Unless you are an arsehole, then nothing is personal. Especially with so many girls, if you go up and speak to them and they turn you down the first word you speak to them, it's just like, they don't even know you and you're going to take that personally. So if you then go up and call them a slut or whatever, which so many guys do, just like, well, then that's on you. You're a piece of shit yourself. And you have a right to be rejected and you're a right to this, that, the other. But yeah, when just like, she could have been having a shit night. She could be fighting with her ex. She could be doing this, that, the other. And then all of a sudden you're going to take that personally. It's just like, it was never against you, mate. Again, and then that all of a sudden ruins your night for an 18, 19-year-old, because your psychology changes as you get older. When I was 18, 19, so I want to go out and so I want to speak to girls. I kissed a girl tonight. How good's that? You know, as you get older, you just like, you don't care so much about that. And you're purely out there just to have fun. So I'm following a night out on what's going to provide me the greatest entertainment. When you're 18, 19 and you're not comfortable in yourself, you don't really know who you are, you don't know how to speak to a girl, and you're basing your whole night out on your interactions with women, and then all of a sudden you get rejected once or twice, and then you're getting angrier and angrier, and you're just like, mate, why the fuck are you getting angry? The whole point of your night out shouldn't be pulling girls, but unfortunately for a lot of young guys who have never spoken to girls, it is, and that's just a fact, kind of thing. As much as people don't like to speak about it today, you know. It is, and then you're going to get angrier when you get rejected. And it's just like you're taking something personally that was never a personal attack, mate. And that's only going to end badly for not only you but the girls as well. And then no one's having a good time. So, you know, my big thing, like everyone just focus on having a good time on a night out, and everyone's going to be better off for the experience.
Have you ever been rejected and you're like, okay, that was so my fault. That was so fair.
Oh enough. Yeah, 100%. Again, like I said, I just speak my mind on a night out. So yeah, a few times you cross the line and you're just like, whoa, Bing, what the fuck? And then you get good at dragging it back and backpedaling eventually. But a few times where you're just like, you know, I like pushing the boundaries because, again, I'm in the business of fun, and I know the further you push the boundary, the more fun you're going to have. So there are many times I'm diving headfirst over that line. You know, we're crashing through that brick wall. But yeah, again, it's all a part. It's all the fun of a night out, isn't it? But yeah, you get pretty good at learning where the line is and where you can cross it with who and this, that, the other. You know. A lot of people like a laugh a bit more than others, and then, yeah, again, it's circumstantial, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You were saying that you shouldn't go out to get laid or whatever, but can you tell us about your perfect week and what that experience was like?
This is terrible. Buy the book, guys. 31st of January, Unprotected Treks. Outstanding. Terrible bit of literature. No, it was the first time in my life where I went out trying to pull, and it was fucking awful, like absolutely trash. So I went out to try and do the perfect week, have 7 one-night stands in 7 nights, and you reach like day 4, day 5, your liver's just like resembling a 90-year-old Scotsman's bagpipe. Your cock's chafed and needs a defibrillator. And you're just like, what the fuck is going on? You're forcing a beer down your throat. And it's like, oh, let's go and get laid again. Yeah, that sounds like fun, Bing. Let's do that. So every night you'd go out. And this is my big thing, okay? If you're basing your whole night out on whether you get laid or not, you are making every interaction before 12 o'clock redundant. Doesn't matter what you did before 12. Doesn't matter because you're basing your night purely on an end result that may or may not happen. So you could have the best night of your life. You can be on the shrooms, having a fucking laser show, outstanding, beach, everyone's naked, everyone's having a good time. And then all of a sudden you don't get laid and you're like, well, that was a shit night. And it's like, well, was it? Was it really a shit night? Or are you just basing your measurements of a good night poorly? Like, are your metrics wrong? And I think, again, that's why it's so hard to talk to like an 18, 19-year-old to be like, this is what a good night entails. When at that age, when you haven't seen anything and you don't know anything, it's just like, no, I want to go and get laid. Or from a girl's perspective, it's like, I want guy's attention. I want him to buy me a drink. I want to be able to get the attention that I'm seeking. And you're just like, well, that isn't going to bring you, one, any good stories, because how good's a good story, guys? Everyone loves a good story. But two, you're just not going to enjoy your time out. You're going to get sick of drinking pretty fast, and drinking's great, guys. It's so much fun. When nothing else is there for you, you will be.
Do you not think that part of the fun of going out is pulling, though? Because I feel like I used to love clubbing when I was single, and I loved it because, like, the things you were saying, like, girls just want guys' attention and to buy them that drink, and guys just want to get laid and all of this shit. But do you not think that that's like a huge part of going out, and what makes it more fun when it's like when you're going out for the pull, you know? Do you not agree?
100%. Because it cries out to like humans' animal instincts, doesn't it? Just like that rawness, that unpredictability, like anything could happen. Yeah. And then obviously the nudity. How good's nudity, guys? Everyone fucking loves it. So when you get that in the end, but you've got to realise, how about, I'll go back to it, it's just like you could have had the best night ever and you've got drunk and everything else, but if your mindset from the start is to go in the pool and you don't pool, well then all of a sudden you've had a shit night, when possibly you might have had the best night of your life. Mate, I am not nullifying the excitement of a bit of monkey on monkey action. Like everyone loves stripping down to the rawness of it all. But if that's your only measure on a good night, then you're gonna be disappointed a lot of the time. You know. Again, like I don't know, my especially me. I'm a bit older, and at the moment I'm not far off an old walking stick and a new couple of knees. But I enjoy going to the pub with my brothers, my best mates, and they bring their missus up. I'm lonely and depressing, but I'm still having a good time. You know, that's how I enjoy spending my time out. Especially, put it this way, especially in COVID. Like, fuck, how relevant is this conversation now? It's like, well, you can't go out in the pool, can you? How are you going to have a good night? You're just going to pack up shop for the next 12 months and be like, oh, fuck it, I'm giving up drinking. Because fuck that, I'm never giving up drinking. What? And it is difficult. I'll go back to it. It's saying this to an 18, 19-year-old who hasn't exactly gone and enjoyed the fruits of life as much as they perhaps would like to. It is a massive part of being that age. Like, you need to go out, experience rejection, experience one night stand, the good, the bad, the ugly, because that's how you grow. But yeah, you need to look a bit further than the end goal, because you're gonna miss the sunset on the way there.
Yeah, it's like the potential for a shag at the end of the night, but it's like you can still enjoy all the bits in between, and then if that bit at the end doesn't happen, then it's like, it's all good, you know.
And I've gone out with plenty of guys who, that's their first aim from the start of the night, and you just, I don't get it. My big thing is, I personally believe that if you teach a guy certain aspects of game, you can pull any night. I don't care how dead it is or whatever the situation is.
What are the pointers? I need to know.
Yeah, please enlighten us.
Alright, here we go. Do you want crash course in fucking creepy game. Here you go. Yes. Get your notepads out, ladies. Establish a connection. Break the touch barrier. Sexualize the conversation. Don't be a pussy. You'll get laid any night of the week. It's a shit creepy thing, but that's human nature. That's pretty much it. If you have enough confidence, that'll get you over the line most of the time. But if you go out with that in mind, and you're going to get blind at say 8 p.m. and you're going to pull at 9 p.m. and then you go home, you're just like, well, what the fuck did you just achieve? Like fucking nothing. No one's had a good time. You've got to. I guess you can claim that you've got a story, but have you really got a story? Like a lot of guys obviously do things just purely because, you can go back to your mates and be like, check this out. This is what happened. But I've been out with fucking losers who have done that. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, I don't envy you, mate. Like, that was your whole night out. It lasted an hour in a club and you're going to walk away thinking you're fucking king shit. And it's just like, well, that was my definition of the shittest night you could possibly have out. You've just left 4 hours out in the field, mate. So I think if you go out, again, just purely for fun, guy or girl, you're going to end up with much. I just think you're going to enjoy your time out a lot more.
So, okay, I have a question. So you're saying about like pulling on a night out, but do you ever actively chase people that you like really want to fuck? And what's the most questionable thing you've done in like one of those situations, if you have?
Really, to be honest with you, a pull is a sale. Let's be honest. Okay, again, a one night stand is not you're looking for your future missus or mister. I and a lot of people conflate the two, which kind of irritates me.
Yeah,
it's just.
It's
not.
Definitely.
It's not the place you should be looking for a life partner. I don't think when you're both onto your 20th bourbon and coke, 1 a.m. in the dodgiest club of your local town. It's just like, I'm gonna find love tonight. That's what I'm going to do. Exactly right. And it frustrates me at the moment because that's a lot of the conversations. That's just like, oh, you should treat it as this thing. It's like, no, it's not. But to actually actively pursue a girl, because again, if you're not getting anything back, then I feel like they're not going to be that exciting a person, which again might be a shit thing to say. But yeah, if I end up, I guess, pursuing a girl, it's a good one actually. I think you'll like this one. And this is, if any of my mates are listening, you can turn off right now. This isn't going to end too well. This girl was with a gay mate, and she's just like, we're getting with each other. And she's just like, I won't sleep with you tonight until someone hooks up with my gay mate. And I was just like, oh, really? Fucking, let's party, baby. So I started hooking up with this bloke. And I was just like, whoa, this isn't for me, hey? It really isn't for me. But that was pretty much the definition of questionable, I think. That wasn't on my radar of things that I wanted to do that night. But, yeah. We eventually had a good night, so I don't think it was worth it, that.
And did you end up sleeping with her?
Yeah, not the guy, I didn't, unfortunately. He didn't like the way I hooked up with him, apparently. But, the girl I did. Yeah.
Nice.
She was a
so
great
it
girl.
was all worth it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, depending on your definition. No. In any objective definition, no, it wasn't. But, you got to party every now and again, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, my turn to ask a question.
Okay.
My turn.
Go on.
Which one of you was the one who fucked in an elevator?
That was me.
I'm so impressed. That is outstanding. Fucking outstanding. Outstanding, honey.
Thank you. What's the wildest place you've had sex? I can imagine it's probably quite wild because you've been like everywhere.
The back of a bus, that was pretty funny. That was
like a public bus?
How?
It was on the way to a girl's formal, and she was lovely lady. That was in America. I got invited to a girl's formal, and we were.
It's always in America.
Oh, what a place! No, we were like discreet about it. There was like one row free in front of us between a whole bus of people. So I'm not an animal.
But does she just like sit on top of you or what?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, she was just put the old skirt up, bit of how you going, and then yeah, there was no happy ending. There was no finish line, unfortunately. But it was just like, hey, we're having sex on a bus. This is great.
Yeah.
So,
But did no one like turn around, or did the driver not see?
oh, I'm not that good in the sack, so there wasn't too much noise.
You have to sell yourself a bit more than that. Come on.
I was fucking her like Ron Jeremy, just screaming like a hyena. Oh, it was fucking outstanding. Everyone just like, stop the bus. You're gonna pop a tire, Bing.
So, what's your favourite story from the book without giving away too many spoilers? Give us a little teaser. And then, is there anything that didn't make it into the book that you're like, this was just too wild to get into the book?
No, like I went to England, so I've spent the last 12 months in the UK. And I wrote enough for about probably 4 or 5 books. And then I had to kind of cut it down to one condensed piece of trash. And, yeah, the book is about my travel stories that haven't gone so well. So I've lost all my teeth. I've been held at gunpoint. I've been arrested. I've had my skull cracked open with a 2-year concussion afterwards. I've been robbed more times than you can count. I've had a schizophrenic fit. I've done it all, baby. But we've had a bit of a rough time overseas, and we've had a bit of a fun time overseas. So I thought I'd compile all those stories into one 270-page children's book, pretty much. And to answer my favourite story, I have favourite stories in which I like the way they're written, and then I have favourite stories in they ended well for Bing. And unfortunately, in this book, not too many of them ended well for old Bing. So, how many stories that didn't make it into the book? A lot. A lot. Just because I want my mum looking me in the eye for at least another 6 months. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't know how to compromise those two issues. So yeah, my favourite story in the book is probably... Oh, I like the story where I hit my head. I think that's a funny, family-friendly story where I was drinking a bit too much in Nicaragua, Central America, and I ended up cracking my skull open and getting it hacked together by some local who, I don't know what he was. He wasn't a surgeon, he wasn't a doctor, he had no credentials, but apparently he owned a needle and a bit of string. He was able to hack my head together with no real anesthetic, and I managed to walk out with only hepatitis, so that was exciting.
Oh wow,
that's an interesting story because that's the start of kind of the whole downfall of the travel experience.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us, Bing. It's been a wild ride. Thanks for giving us some insight into what the penis does while you're taking a shit.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
And of course, you can buy Bing's book out on my birthday, 31st of January. Unprotected Treks. Do you want to tell people where they can find you, find the book, that kind of thing?
Yeah, my website is www.bingfraser.com, and make sure you go there before you buy the book so you can actually like test it out before you actually throw your hard-earned money at it. Because just don't buy it. It is a horrible piece of literature. Like you're better off just throwing $20 out the window and being like, you know what? That was still more enjoyment than what I would have got by buying his book. So do that. But Amazon, especially in these trying times, like support your local businesses, guys. Go to Amazon and buy Unprotected Treks, I guess. I don't know. It's ebook, paperback.
And audiobook.
Oh, an audiobook. Oh, fuck me dead. Don't buy the audiobook.
So you can be blessed with Bing's voice.
Don't listen to him. Definitely go buy his book.
Oh, actually, no. I've literally put myself through 3 weeks of hell so you illiterate people can listen/read this fucking book that was meant to be read.
Yeah, so make all his hard work worth it. And yeah, I will put the link to your website in our description. Do you have Instagram or any social media?
Purely Instagram. Again, it's just trash. Trash upon trash, guys. King Bing Fraser. It's just daily posts about pretty much just pictures of my ass. So, with some half-assed motivational quote next to it. Yeah, that's it. I've got the Instagram formula down packed. Down to a dime, baby.
Okay. Great. And yeah, so thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have you and to meet you.
Don't you lie to me.
We even got to do a shot at 9:30 in the morning. You know, what more could you want from your day?
Oh, I'm fucking blind, eh? I'm going to sleep like a baby.
Yes.
This is great.
We hope you guys enjoyed the episode. You can find us on all the usual places. Instagram at Sextras Podcast, Facebook Sextras Podcast, website www.sextraspodcast.com, email sextraspodcast@gmail.com, and please, as always, don't forget to leave us a little review, especially because it's my birthday. Share the podcast, tell us your favourite episode, obviously this one because it has Bing. Tell us what you want to see next, and yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bing, you have to say bye.
Bye. Sex. Sex. Play that theme music, baby. Hit it, baby.
You've been listening to Sextras, presented by Honey Jane Wyatt and Maria Jose Hayodatiyi. Produced by Mabel Productions.